France, a story of revolution, romance, and really good bread. Before the baguettes, there was chaos. France is famous for wine, cheese, and existential crises, but before the Eiffel Tower and haute couture, it was a land of warring tribes, Roman invasions, and very dramatic kings. And let's not forget, France wasn't even called France yet. Chapter 1. The Birth of France Once Upon a Time. In the land of baguettes to be, there were the Gauls fearless, warriors who painted their bodies blue and fought the Romans with everything they had. The Romans, led by Julius Caesar, took one look at them and said, "Challenge accepted." The Gauls gave the Romans a tough fight, but eventually Rome took over, built fancy roads, introduced the locals to bathhouses and wine. Then Rome collapsed, and in marched the Franks, a Germanic tribe led by Clovis, who basically said, "This is mine now," and turned the land into Francia, the early version of France. Moral of the story? If you want to start a country, all you need is a cool name and a good army. Chapter 2. Kings, castles, and that one time they had 100-year war. If you think royal drama today is wild, wait until you hear about medieval France. Betrayal, battles, and one war that lasted longer than anyone expected. It was basically the original Game of Thrones, minus the dragons. By the Middle Ages, France was all about knights, castles, and kings who ruled with fancy titles. But England had other ideas, and the two countries ended up in the 100 Years' War. Entered Joan of Arc, a teenage girl who said, "I can fix this," led the French to victory, and became a national hero. Then, unfortunately, the English burned her at the stake. But don't worry, France got the last laugh. They won the war and kept their land. Lesson learned: never underestimate a French teenager on a mission. Chapter 3. The French Revolution. France in the 1700s had three things: fancy clothes, expensive parties, and a king who had no idea how broke the country was. Spoiler, it did not end well for him. King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were living their best lives in the Palace of Versailles, while everyone else was starving. The people said, "Enough is enough," and in 1789 they stormed the Bastille, kicking off the French Revolution, aka the time when guillotines became the hottest trend in Paris. The monarchy collapsed. Marie Antoinette famously did not say, "Let them eat cake," and France declared itself a republic. Then things got out of hand, and the revolution started eating itself, leading to the Reign of Terror, where people were getting executed left and right. France learned a valuable lesson. Revolutions are great, but maybe don't take things too far. Chapter 4. Napoleon, the short guy who almost conquered Europe, France, got rid of a king. But apparently they still wanted a guy in charge, so they found Napoleon, a military genius who was really good at winning battles. Napoleon declared himself emperor and decided France wasn't big enough, so he went on a conquering spree across Europe. He won battles, reformed laws, and made France incredibly powerful. But then he made the classic military mistake. He invaded Russia. It's in the winter? With bad logistics. It did not end well. Napoleon was defeated, sent to exile, made a comeback, lost again, and was exiled again. And just like that, France went from being an empire back to a republic again. Chapter 5. France versus the world, 2 world wars, and a comeback. If history has taught us anything, it's that France doesn't stay down for long. Even when things look bad, the French always find a way to bounce back, preferably with a good wine in hand. During World War I, France fought hard but suffered massive losses. Then came World War II, where Germany occupied France. But Charles de Gaulle and the French resistance refused to give up, and by 1944, France was free again. After the war, France rebuilt itself into a global powerhouse, leading in culture, fashion, and philosophy. Because let's be real, no one does existentialism like the French. At this point, France had been a kingdom, a republic, an empire, and a republic again. Honestly, it's impressive they kept track. Chapter 6. Modern France baguettes, protests, and being effortlessly cool today. France is known for its art, its cuisine, and the ability to go on strike at a moment's notice. Some things never change. France helped create the European Union, built the Eiffel Tower, and became the ultimate destination for romance and culture. But if you think the French lost their revolutionary spirit, think again. Strikes and protests, they still happen regularly. Love of good food and wine, stronger than ever. A general sense of we do things our way attitude, 100% intact. A country that survived invasions, revolutions, and centuries of change, all while looking effortlessly stylish. France, in one sentence. France isn't just a country. It's an attitude. It's about history, culture, and a deep belief that life is too short for bad wine and mediocre pastries. So the next time you enjoy a croissant, take a stroll down the Champs. Or argue about philosophy in a cafe. Remember, you're participating in a history that's wild, dramatic, and very, very French. Vive la France!